Hey, thank you for joining me. I'm Greg Eichin, President and CEO of Athletes for College. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our story and where we come from as a company. We've been growing. It's been just an enormous ride, and we're a company that's gone national, and we've had great success. And I'm often asked how did we get to where we are right now, and so I'm going to give you a little bit of a history on where we come from and where we plan on going basically in the future. I started Athletes for College. I purchased it about 9 years ago from a gentleman by the name of Tom Oldfield, and it was something that had always, I had been interested in for quite a few years, ever since my son was being recruited, and we ended up having some issues with him getting recruited, and I couldn't figure out why. I'll start at the very beginning. I was recruited back in 1981 with Fresno State, and I was competing with probably about six other athletes, student athletes, for the scholarship that I obtained. And I didn't have much of a problem, and I thought it was pretty easy. And if you're, performance-based athlete and you've got some skills, you're going to get picked up by somebody fairly easy. And so, it was an easy process. So, fast forward quite a few years. I'm not going to tell you how many, but quite a few. And here comes my son, who's an all-state football player. And he was being recruited by University of Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Michigan State. And we'd even had a few coaches that have come out and visited. And I was telling him, just like with me, I thought, okay, this is going to be an easy process. One of those, if not more than one, are going to make an offer to you, and you're going to be all set. Senior year came along. He was again all-state, second in the state in interceptions, and was just had a great year. And then here comes the National Signing Day, and nothing. He didn't get a single offer. Ended up having to go to community college route, and then went into a Division I school after that on a scholarship. But we were just blown away by what happened in the process that caused them to overlook him, and I could not figure it out for the life of me. I started researching it a lot, and during this time I ended up moving to Colorado. And I met a gentleman by the name of Tom Oldfield, who had a company that did athletic recruiting and athletic placement. And I was talking to Tom, and right out of the blue one time I was telling him the story with my son, and he said, well, Greg, with social media and all the different means that people have to be able to reach out and see athletes these days, you're not going to have 6 or 7 athletes competing for a scholarship. You're going to have 60 or 70. And it turned out to be so true. And it all made sense. It made complete sense why he didn't get a scholarship. So I started working with Tom, and I ended up buying the company, and we named it Athletes for College, and we decided to go national after a few years. When we went national, it was just a great explosion, and our growth has been phenomenal. And one of the reasons why it's been so successful, most of it that we have are referrals from athletes that we've placed. We have an amazing placement record, and our testimonials and our families that go through this process are just blown away by how much opportunity there is. And this opportunity comes from us not only being able to evaluate proper players. One of the things that we hear from coaches all the time is that in college, the thing that they don't have time to do is waste time on athletes that are not capable of playing at the level that they want them, or that they feel that they should be playing at. And we all know that most parents feel that their kids are Division I athletes. So at Athletes for College, one of the things that we decided to do was to make sure that we evaluated every single athlete. And we do this with professional players. We've got Major League Baseball players like Desi Relaford, Damian Jackson, Ray Langford. We have WNBA players like Brandy McCain, who was a 4-time All-American. Softball, women's softball, we have Nancy Evans, who's one of the greatest softball players of all time. We have Earl Boykins for basketball. We just have a wide variety of amazing evaluators that evaluate athletes that come to Athletes for College and make sure that they're qualified to be able to play at the college level. We don't care if they're a Division I player or if they're an NAIA or JUCO player, as long as we're able to get them scholarships at whatever level they're capable of playing, we're real comfortable. So one of the things that we figured out is that we can't go to 6 or 7 colleges and expect any of our athletes to get scholarships. So what we do is we send them out. We create a profile online, send them out, and send them out to the coaches, and the coaches' response rate is great. We have a 98.7% read receipt on our emails that we send out to college coaches. And the reason why they open our emails, to be honest with you, is because we only send them players that are qualified to play for that college. And so it's been an amazing success, and our story has evolved within time. But the real reason that we do this, I have national directors, Kevin Wright, Ben Nelson, who was a former Minnesota Viking. Kevin Wright actually played, was a quarterback at the University of Kentucky, and then Ed Mankin. My national directors are amazing at making sure that we follow through this process, which has given us over a 95% success rate with getting scholarships to our student athletes. I mean, to be honest with you, it would be 100% if we could make sure that these athletes weren't getting in trouble academically or having issues, maybe posting something they shouldn't be posting about partying on Facebook and losing some scholarships. But the scholarships are available, and how we do it is we will send out to 60 or 70 colleges, sometimes 100 or 140 colleges, to get exposure for these athletes and to generate interest and create a genuine interest in looking at these colleges. And our success has been phenomenal, and we're all here to help athletes. Most of us are ex-athletes, and we do this to kind of give back to to the games and to the whole process, because it's an amazing process. And I saw a study just a couple days ago that said that in graduating class of 2018 will pay 25% of their net income almost for 30 years to pay off student loans. It's just insane. And there is so much scholarship money that's available for these athletes that Athletes for College is a real no-brainer. It's also tax deductible and doesn't cost anything. And most parents will think, well, my kid maybe isn't good enough. And I've had so many of these athletes that have done that. I had an athlete by the name of Kirk Neuenhuis, and he's actually a Tom Oldfield and myself were working with him, and his father made a phone call out and was talking to us and explaining to us that his son was a pretty good baseball player, didn't receive any scholarship offers at all. So we were able to send him out. We got him a scholarship at Azusa Pacific, and Kirk has been a starter for the New York Mets, and would never have been able to do this. He was ready to quit and go to a community college and just try to get by and hopefully obtain a scholarship with a lot of student loans. But we were able to definitely change that, and it's so rewarding to see so many of these athletes go on and to become so successful in life. I mean, we don't care whether they go pro or whether they go into the workforce. Our goal is to get them a good quality education and get them as little student loans, as little in paying anything back. And we've gotten kids $400,000 worth of financial aid, and we've gotten other kids, $65,000. But it all makes a difference, and it all helps. And they're all playing their sport that they love in college. So, we invite you to check us out and, contact. We have over 250 recruiting specialists nationwide, and I appreciate you listening, and feel free to contact us, and, best of luck to you.